This is Terror House Radio with Matt Forney and Bryden Proctor.
Yeah, welcome to Terror House Radio, episode number 45. I'm Matt Forney, your charming and loquacious host and the founder and editor-in-chief of Terror House Press. Joining me, per usual, is my co-host and producer, the very grounded and very rational Bryden Proctor. How you doing, Bryden?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty fucking miserable, but I started drinking Coca-Cola recently, so I'm sure that's like a great life decision to make, is just to like pick up a soda habit at 33.
Well, that's a people usually start drinking soda a lot younger, so that is unusual.
I mean, I used to when I was a kid, but for years I just really wouldn't have a soda that often, and recently, last few weeks, I've been like, fuck it.
Yeah, I can get you there. I mean, I actually don't like soda. I don't like any kind of carbonated drink aside from energy drinks, and even those I don't really like that much. I don't know why.
Beer?
Well, beer. I like beer.
What about Perrier?
Perrier? What, the sparkling water?
Yeah.
I've never had it, actually.
It's good. It's naturally carbonated. So apparently, somewhere out there, to the best of my understanding, somewhere out there is just like this river that's just got carbonated-ass delicious water in it. And if that's not really what the thing is, then, yeah, I don't really want to know. I like to think about this French river with carbonated water.
It sounds not bad. Is it like LaCroix? And actually, I just remembered I like LaCroix.
It's better. They have like different flavored ones, but I think those are kind of gross. I just get the regular water. Yeah, it's pretty good. I can't remember the name of the Italian one.
San Pellegrino.
Yeah, it's more like that than LaCroix.
So San Pellegrino, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I've discovered I like all carbonated drinks except for soda.
Yeah, so it's really just you just don't like soda, and energy drinks are kind of basically just soda.
I guess. I mean, here in Europe, for some reason, energy drinks are cheaper than soda. Like you can get like a Hell energy drink for in Bosnia, using Bosnian prices. You can get a Hell energy drink for like 50 cents, but like a Pepsi is like $1 for some reason.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that's probably about the same price it is here in America. I mean, like, you know, price difference here in America, because
really? Because like I last I recall, energy drinks were more expensive than soda in the U.S.
No, I think it used to be that way, like when they first started popping up. But now there's just so many of them that they're pretty much all $1.
Mm.
Oh, except Red Bull. Red Bull is still expensive as all get out for some reason.
Oh, Red Bull is always priced more expensively than in every country. Like here, I think it's about like a couple dollars. That's not bad, but it's like it's cheaper. It's much more expensive than the other brands.
It's the only energy drink I like. I think the other ones are just kind of gross. Like, I don't know. I used to like the Mountain Dew Amp ones, but the only one if I'll drink any energy drink at all, it's Red Bull.
Yeah, I mean, I personally prefer the various Monster, different flavors like the Doctor and what's the other one? There's one that's just blue, and I like the taste of that one. I can do a Red Bull every so often. I prefer the other ones because they're less expensive.
Yeah, I don't know. I went through a phase of drinking a bunch of Red Bull for like a month or two, and eventually I just started to feel like shit. Like, it was bad. I would drink like 2 or 3 a day.
Dude, I limit myself to just one energy drink a day at most.
Yeah, you can't do it. I mean, it's just bad for you, I think. But I mean, I don't know. Have you seen these Twitters, the tweets that have been popping up of these people that are like, if you drink Red Bull, then you shouldn't worry about what's in the vaccine and stuff like that.
I have not.
Yeah, it's been it's just not like a new, I don't know if you call it a meme or not, but kind of like a new joke in quotations format that's been popping up around Twitter. I fucking hate that website.
I don't even understand. It's a total non sequitur. I mean, what the hell is wrong with Red Bull?
It's it's seen as bad for you, which it probably is as bad as any other soda for you. But
Well,
no, it's just
Red Bull hasn't given anyone Bell's palsy.
yeah. Well, but who doesn't love a little ring a ding? Yeah, I don't know. It's just some dumb quote unquote joke format that's popped up. So naturally, it's gonna get turned on its head and become really racist really soon. I'm sure of it.
Probably already has.
I'd imagine. It's yeah.
But yeah, that's retarded. Now, Thai Red Bull, you got to watch out for that shit. Thai Red Bull is absolutely disgusting.
There's a difference?
Yeah, there's the guy who invented Red Bull, he got the idea going to Thailand and watching all the Thais drinking some bullshit that they used to stay awake, and he just made a version of that and he sold it internationally. But the original recipe is called Thai Red Bull. I had it in the Philippines and it literally tastes like cough syrup.
That's gross.
And it's also thick and syrupy for some reason.
Dude, holy cow. I didn't know that this had been around this long. I guess it was, been around since 1987.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it was some guy from Austria or somewhere who went to Thailand and saw this shit and he, took it international.
Yeah, Diedrich Matschitz.
Yeah, it's like how Indonesian villagers were chewing on kratom leaves for years, decades, centuries, and it wasn't until recently that the Western world found out about kratom.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, I guess the original one was called Krating Dang, and it's non-carbonated, developed by some. Yeah, it looks like it comes in a cough syrup bottle. Wow, yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. Do not touch Thai Red Bull. The Western version is better. Like every time we touch something, we make it better and more concentrated. It tastes better. It's like how the Bolivians chewed on coca leaves for centuries. But then we went and invented cocaine.
Yeah, God bless the CIA. And eventually they were like, you know what? Let's do crack. All the while they were, running an airline too. So it's like, those people can get a lot done if they put their mind to it.
They are the best of us.
Hardworking CIA agents. God bless these hardworking CIA agents and all the differences they make in the world.
All those color revolutions, all those assassinations. Totally awesome. We salute you, CIA. And by CIA, I mean Cocaine Importation Agency.
Yeah. Oh, God. I can't believe that Red Bull had, he founded the company, I guess, in, 1987. It's been around as long as I've been around, and I don't remember it being a thing until, I don't know. I mean, I was a
early
kid.
2000s. Because I remember my school had a presentation on that, and I think they actually banned drinking energy drinks for a while because it was shown to have adverse effects on kids. You'd have athletes who pound Red Bulls before going out to play, and they'd have heart attacks.
Right. Yeah. Because there's been deaths related to it. I mean, but. Man, yeah, I don't remember it being... Because now they do all kinds of weird stuff. They're like, we got the things where people build little carts and race them or whatever, which is fun. I like those. But I don't remember... I can't believe it. There's no way it's been around for 33 years.
Well, I mean, it could have been... it could have been popular in Europe before it came to the U.S. There's a ton of imports from both continents that take a while to cross the divide, as it were.
Yeah, when was it introduced to the U.S.? That's what I gotta find out. This is
And
why.
even when it's introduced to the U.S., like these things like hit the big cities first, and then it takes a while to get out, filter out to places like upstate New York and West Virginia and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, I guess it would make sense. I would have been in West Virginia, so it's like, we were thrilled to have Surge. I remember Surge, and I thought, whoa, this is the peak of caffeination. Okay, that's not a word, right? But it could be caffeinization.
We in Syracuse were so thrilled when we got our first Mexican restaurant.
Outside of Taco Bell, I don't think I went to a real Mexican place. Probably went to what's that one? Chi-Chi's?
Chi-Chi's?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been to Chi-Chi's before?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gone now, right?
Yeah, they don't have those anymore. They just do.
Chi-Chi's was awesome.
Yeah, but then they had a string of food poisonings, and they kind of went under.
But yeah, the closest Chi-Chi's I think was in Rochester. So whenever my family had to go to Rochester, we'd eat at Chi-Chi's or something like that.
Yeah, now they just sell in store. I got some tortillas. I think some Chi-Chi's brand tortillas. In the cabinet right now, but yeah, they don't have their restaurants anymore.
Yeah, that's a tragedy.
Yeah, I searched Chi-Chi's. There's there's
maybe it's one of those weird things where they've got they don't have anything in the U.S. anymore, but they have them in other countries. Because here's the weirdest thing: you ever been to a Kenny Rogers Roasters?
No.
They don't exist in the U.S. anymore. You cannot find them, but they're all over the Philippines and Singapore.
So yeah, it looks like in Europe, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates, there are Chi-Chi's restaurants left.
Wait, Europe? Hold on, I gotta see this.
Yeah, I don't know where in Europe, but
well, it's probably in some country I'm not allowed to enter, thanks to that thing I don't want to talk about. But it's something. Oh, they operate in Belgium, Luxembourg, Austria, the UAE, and Kuwait. So I'm screwed, basically. But I'll add one of those countries to the list if I'm ever allowed to come back.
Well, the thing is, I'll bet if you were to go to a Chi-Chi's, you'd be like, this is not as good as I remember it all.
Yeah, probably not.
It's probably one of those things.
But it's just something I want to check off the list.
Yeah. I don't know. I have nothing to live for, so I have nothing I want to check off the list at this point. I'm just I just want to die. I think it'll be fine.
Hopeful words as always.
Well, I mean, what is that? What is there really to do, right? What do you have to look forward to, besides that new Mel Gibson movie? That looks pretty funny. Fat Man?
Oh yeah. I didn't watch the trailer yet, but when you explained it to me, the premise sounds fucking hilarious.
I guess it already came out. I didn't know about this because how in the hell would anybody know about movies? Wow. Apparently it's not good.
Well, not good according to who? I mean, you have to remember the critics have been out for Mel Gibson ever since he did The Passion of the Christ.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They might be right. It might be utter shit. But I wouldn't trust the critics on this particular issue.
IMDb has it at a 5.9 out of 10, so it's got 3 stars. Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what the audience score is. Audience liked it. Audience said 83%. The critic people 46%. So it probably is okay.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna look it up. I mean, I'm gonna be back in the Western Hemisphere soon, so I mean, actually, now that I think about it, theaters probably don't exist anymore. But I can watch it on the computer, I assume.
Yeah, you can get it on demand on different places, I guess, which is annoying to me because it still costs the same. It costs the same for 2 people to go to a movie theater than it does to get these on demand things.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, dude, it's $20. Every time. It's always all of these on-demand things, it's $20. It's you remember when they stopped doing physical copies of games and they were like, yeah, the price of games are going to go down for you. You just download them. And then now, if anything, the price of games has gone up and, you don't even get a physical copy of it. So it's the same
Oh
thing.
yeah, you don't even get like a printed manual or something.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, you could view it in this way. You are, even though the price is the same, even though the price is the same, you're still saving money because you don't have to, pay gas and drive to the movie theater.
Right, but then think of this too. I've got to get the shitty make-at-home popcorn. I don't even get the good movie theater popcorn.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a fair point. Actually, I think I've mentioned this to you before, possibly on this very podcast. But you know that movie theaters, they lose money on ticket sales.
Yeah, yeah. And they make their money from concessions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why if you've ever wondered why the concessions are so expensive, that's why.
Yeah. I mean, and that's you got to be a nice guy and buy some popcorn. Plus, it's like, it's popcorn. I want popcorn.
Oh, I never do that actually. I cannot remember the last time I bought concessions at a movie theater.
When was the last time you went to a movie theater, though?
Probably about a year ago, actually.
What? Go see Joker?
I saw Joker, but I also saw Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, wow. Why would you do that?
Well, I went and saw it so I could write a review for Terror House, because I had already seen the two previous new Star Wars films, and I wrote reviews of those. So when you're that invested, Bryden, even if it's a piece of shit, you have to see it all the way through the end.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I don't know. Like, I like the Paranormal Activity movies, and boy, howdy, are those just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote the review. Yeah, again, this was a year ago. It's up at Terror House. The review is the movie was not as bad as The Last Jedi. Like, it wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad as The Last Jedi. But yeah, I didn't. Did that movie theater even have concessions? Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. I don't recall. This was in Armenia, so I don't remember the details. But now the reason I don't buy concessions is because, like, I don't want to buy a drink because then I'll have to go to the bathroom. And if I go to the bathroom, I'll miss the movie, and and if I hold it in, that's not going to be fun. If I eat popcorn, I'm going to be thirsty. I'll want something to drink, so I just don't eat anything.
You get the popcorn, you get a drink, right? Then when you have to pee, look, your drink's gone. You just poke your dick into the thing, you pee in the cup. Yeah, that's the sound it makes.
That sounds like a great way to end up on the sex offender registry.
Great, think of that. Then, then people know you're a freak, and you could put that on your Tinder profile. You can be like, "Hey, baby, I'm famous. I'm fun. I like movies. So much so that I don't want to miss a second of them." You could do it.
Does a movie theater that has a bar that serves beer, does that count as a concession? Because I've like had I mean, it probably doesn't exist anymore. There's a chain of art house movie theaters in Chicago that I used to go to one, and then have a beer afterwards. After the movie was over. That was cool.
They all do that now, as far as I could tell. Every movie theater that I had been to sells beer.
Yeah, it was more of a novel thing, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
this particular movie theater, like this theater showed not just new movies, but they also do screenings of like old classic films, like Blade Runner and that kind of thing.
I think the first time I ever had alcohol at a movie theater, I was like, I don't know, 10 or so years ago, something like that. And I thought that was the neatest thing, that they had booze at the movie theater. And then now you go to any Cinemark thing or whatever, and they're like, "Would you like a $12 beer?" And it's, I would. So it's not as fun.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know.
And you can't really sneak those in, when people sneak all this stuff into movie theaters. I think that they should. I think that the movie theater security guards should be like as aggressive as the LAPD in the 90s. Like, if they see somebody, see somebody and they just go to town on them.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I can think of where I went to a movie theater and I was like aggressively, checked to see if I had anything was in the Philippines years ago. I went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy with a girl, and like the guards were all frisking me. He's like, "Do you have cigarettes? Do you have a beer?" And it's like, "No, I have nothing." Like, dude, that's my wallet. And they're like, "Oh, okay."
They gave you the TSA treatment. That's weird.
Well, in their case, like in the Philippines, every mall has armed security guards at the front. So, because they're worried someone might come in and detonate a bomb.
Mhm.
So, like that may have been all that might have also been their concern.
They were there. Are bombings that big of an occurrence over there, or what's the deal?
It has happened. There have been cases where like someone will just walk in with a bomb and blow up a mall and kill hundreds of people. So like every single mall you'll go to, and not just malls, but like any kind of like big important building, they'll have dudes out front with machine guns who will frisk you before you enter. Now it's not much of a frisking when you enter most malls. Like they'll wave their hand over you to like make sure you don't have anything. It's kind of perfunctory, particularly if you're white. Like they'll leave you alone. But they've got to take security seriously.
Huh? I didn't know anything about that. That's wild. I wonder why I never heard about that.
Probably because it's not that important. It's like unless you were planning to go to the Philippines, it's really not that big a deal.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't know they had a big terrorism problem over there.
Plus, the other thing too is they've got some nice fucking malls, dude. Like the nicest malls on earth are in the Philippines. There's the Mall of Asia in Manila, which has an ice skating rink in the center. There's another mall in that city called Greenbelt, which has a huge open air area with all these exotic fish, and like that's the super nice mall with Gucci stores and all the high end retailers. They insurance covers it, I'm sure, but like having your nice skating rink that you built blown up by some asshole with a bomb, that would really suck.
And how often did this happen?
It happened enough. I mean, Philippines probably still is a pretty violent place, but yeah, it's
the Philippines.
I think it's one of the most I think it's one of the most violent countries on the planet.
Okay, terrorism in the Philippines. Yeah, they got a listing for every year. So I guess at least hostage. Yeah, here's an IED hostage thing. IED. This is 2007, and there's just wow, holy cow! Yeah, geez, dude, holy crap! They got a lot of holy shit.
Oh yeah, they've got their they've got their own like Muslim secessionist movement in the south of the country. They've got you've got drug lords. You've got Chinese gangsters. You've got everyone all over the place. So yeah, you gotta have the security guards. You gotta have the private security if you're rich. You gotta take taxis. You can't walk around at night in certain places. You always have to be. Another trick is you only take out when you go out. You only take out the money that you need, and you leave your credit cards at home. That kind of thing.
Dude, just last year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bombings. That's wow, jeez, dude. Yeah, cathedral bombing, some chicken restaurant, a military camp, a motor parking, bakery shop, and then suicide bomber. Yeah, huh? I guess they've got a whole bunch of, because if you go through, it's all like bombing, improvised explosive, like good grief. Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. It's I mean, I never had any problems when I was there, but that's because I'm not an idiot. But yeah, it's not exactly it's not exactly a place you want to go around doing dumb shit.
No, because it seems like they had the 90s was when it really started to pick up. Then 2000s, 2001 hostage situation and a bombing, and then it really started to pick up. Like 2002 was a rough year for the Philippines. Holy cow, I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean it's probably a bit better now because Duterte's in charge, and he initiated the drug war. So basically, all the drug dealers are dead or lying in, or have left the country. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any listed for 2020, but there was, the 5 or whatever in 2019. But yeah, nothing in 2020. I mean, maybe those are all counted as corona deaths. I don't know.
Possibly, or they. I think they had a very, very strict lockdown, so that may have been part of it.
Oh wait. ABC, 14 killed, 75 wounded in bomb attacks in South Philippines. That's from August of this year. Yeah, so they're still doing it. They still got all kinds of. I had no idea this was so common there. That's rough stuff, dude.
Yeah. That's what life is like in these countries, in these third world countries. You've got the rich, you've got the poor, and you've got a whole lot of bombings.
Apparently, so shit. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. You got to have armed guards at the mall to make sure that nobody's got bombs on them.
Oh yeah.
What a fucking shithole.
It's okay. Yeah, it's a shithole, but it's got some nice parts. I like the people. They're very cheery and friendly and welcoming.
Well, some of them
food sucks.
Some of them aren't. Some of them don't seem to be that cheery at all.
The food sucks. The women are cool. You've got some cool museums in Manila.
For
the
now,
weather is.
I mean, they'll get to them eventually.
The weather is hot all the time, and there's a ton of air pollution. So yeah, Philippines is kind of a mixed bag.
I wouldn't go there. That seems like a real shitty place, if you ask me.
Really, the only reason to go there is if you're retired and divorced and you are lonely.
Nah. Still don't want to get exploded. I'm all right. Not like, let's see. Now let's see. Okay, terrorism in the U.S. 2020 to present. So let's see. Okay, we do have a lot of these, but these are shootings.
Yeah. You're gonna. I was gonna say it's gonna be in the U.S. It's gonna be mostly shootings and like it'll all be quote unquote white supremacy or some shit.
Right. Yeah. It's like, but yeah, not that many bombings compared to the Philippines. It's all shootings, which isn't better or anything. It's just. I don't know. Just something's weird about bombings that I'm like, I don't really want to get exploded.
Well, the thing is shootings are more of a kind of a lone wolf type deal, whereas bombings are generally carried out by terrorist groups or cartels.
Right. Yeah, so I guess there's, I don't know, a bunch of Muslim terrorists in the Philippines. That's rough.
Oh yeah. That's like I said, that's a big. I lived in Davao, which is the big city in the southern part of the country where the Muslim insurgency is going on. That place is actually very, very safe. Like, Duterte, the president, was mayor of Davao for about 30 years, and he just dealt with anyone who caused trouble in his city by just taking them out in a swamp and shooting them.
Yeah, he sounds like a real nice guy.
No, he's cool. He's fucking hilarious.
I wouldn't want to be on his bad side. So yeah, I guess I would laugh at all of his jokes. That's so funny, Duterte.
Oh, he's gotten in trouble for a ton of shit. I remember one of the funny. Well, I guess this isn't really funny. There was a case I think back in 1989 where there was an Australian missionary working at a prison in Davao, and there was a prison break, and the prisoners gang raped her and then killed her. And the mayor said something, and Duterte said something to the effect of like, "I think that's a horrible tragedy. The mayor should have been first."
Jeez.
And then later he refused to even walk it back. He said, "I meant what I said."
Well, I mean, I guess that's how he wants to operate. Like, God. Yeah, what a shithole. Good grief. I mean,
and he got elected president.
Yeah, I don't know how much I would trust their elections, though. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Their elections, they might be better than ours at this point. I wouldn't know, but like, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
I mean, the establishment didn't want him winning the election because he was going to basically deal with all the drug lords by shooting them, which is what he did.
Yeah. I mean, that'll take care of your drug problem. Why can the Philippines do a better war on drugs than the U.S.?
Well, that's because they didn't bother with the judges. Because Duterte's whole thing was like, you needed to observe, needed to observe the rule of law and judicial processes. And he was like, look, the judges are all corrupt. They're bought off by the cartels. They're not going to do anything. Well, he said it. He said it in a different way. He said like, people said like extrajudicial killings are wrong. So it's like, okay, I'll just take them to the judge's house and shoot them there.
God. Yeah, this whole world's just a fucking piece of shit. I know that. It is funny.
I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that dude when he's gone.
I kind of forgot about him entirely. I remember when he first was elected, but I completely forgot about him. I mean, hey, on the plus side, at least Google, for whatever reason, I didn't realize how bad that it was. How long was everything down?
For about half hour, 45 minutes. Apparently, according to Twitter, the most reliable news source in the world, it was some kind of DDoS attack.
Huh. I wonder who did it.
I'm thinking of a certain country in Asia that is known for its hostile relationship with the U.S. and apparently has millions of people just infiltrating everywhere.
Yeah. When do we get to see that list? I'm interested to see what companies.
The list is already out. The list is already out.
Right, but I haven't heard any names from it.
Well, that's because it's got to be translated from Chinese.
Let's see. U.S. companies riddled with China. See, this is what, there's no reason to do show prep. You just Google stuff. I don't know. This is all talking about Swalwell, which is pretty funny.
More like swallow well.
Boeing, Qualcomm, and Pfizer are just 3 U.S. companies who employ dozens of CCP members in their Chinese facilities, the database reveals. Yeah.
Well, I should bring up a bit of a devil's advocate point here. I mean, China's a communist state. Don't you kind of have to be part of the CCP in order to, do anything?
Right. That's kind of what I'm thinking when it's like, in their Chinese facilities. It's like, well, yeah, okay, of course. That makes sense. I'm pretty sure that you have to do it.
Well, it's like years ago when they tried to attack Melania Trump by saying her father was a member of the Yugoslavian Communist Party. It's like you had to join the party if you wanted to, get a job.
Right. Yeah.
That's how communist dictatorships work.
It's kind of a prerequisite, I think. Yeah, this will get all swept under the rug. It's not going to be as big of a thing as it maybe should be. I mean, because there are people, I'm sure we know this. I mean, they've caught some of them who are Chinese spies working and living in the U.S. One of which was Dianne Feinstein's limo driver for 20 fucking years. So we don't hear anything about that.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, at this stage, it's kind of even pointless to get angry about it.
No, I mean, that's just what they do, and they're everywhere. It's not, yeah.
Huh. Here's some news. Pornhub just purged all unverified content from the platform.
So what's that mean?
I assume that basically means anything that wasn't uploaded by a porn studio or like a verified, OnlyFans thought or something.
Okay.
Have you been following this? Like the suddenly went to war with Pornhub over the past week.
Right. Yeah. Visa and MasterCard said they're not going to do payment processing for them anymore because of that New York Times article.
It began with a New York Times article, and people are declaring this a victory for morality or something. Meanwhile, OnlyFans continues to rake in $1 billion a year. I mean, my personal perspective here is I think OnlyFans had a role in destroying its competitors, which has happened before and would make total sense. I mean, is Pornhub is what's the company that runs them? Manwin, MindGeek. Are they even relevant anymore? I mean, the whole tube site thing was very, very popular like 10 years ago. But right now, OnlyFans is the driver in porn. And the difference between OnlyFans and Pornhub is that instead of being exploited by a short big nosed dude, you're exploiting yourself, which makes it cool and empowering.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody is going to say this is like a victory for morality, because I'm pretty sure the Christian right's dead at this point. They're not around anymore. So I don't know what people would be excited about. I mean, according to the New York Times article, Pornhub did or whatever have a problem with like sexual assault and child porn videos, which is like, okay, you've got to figure out what's going on with that and send people to jail. Like, that's clearly a blatantly illegal thing.
That's the interesting thing here. No one's trying to actually contact the police. It's all deplatform them.
Yeah.
Like if you've got evidence of child porn on Pornhub, you probably should be reporting that to the fucking police.
Yeah, and as Pornhub, were they talking to the damn police at all? Like, hey, look what we found and deleted. You'd think they would go to the freaking FBI.
Or the FBI. I mean, they're technically Canadian, so I guess they would go to the RCMP.
Yeah, whatever Canadian FBI is. But yeah, you'd think that. I don't know. They must have. I would imagine they must have like talked to the police about it. But I don't know. It's a weird one. It is a weird one for sure. And I'm wondering, what Reddit has to say about this. I didn't even think to check Reddit. They're probably angry.
Oh, I'm sure. Coomers have just been taking L's this month. We started off ending No Nut November with Elliot Page, and now we've got Pornhub being shut down basically.
Oh man, that Elliot Page shit is just fucking funny. That's just a mess. What an obvious like dumb attention-seeking career thing to do. And oh my god, whatever, dude. That's what I hate is like, what the fucking movies am I supposed to watch now? Because every time I watch one of them, it's dumb. And I'm just reminded of how much I hate all of the people that work in that stupid fucking industry. There's nothing. There's nothing good. Apparently all video games now are stupid, although, I mean, I haven't played Cyberpunk because my computer won't run it, but it does seem like really funny to be, a lady with a penis. I would totally make that character. But
yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. Don't forget, your penis has to be uncircumcised, because if it's circumcised in the game, all the characters will laugh at you.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Put that fucking, as Intactivist got to win there. Definitely.
I think it's funny. There was also, I saw this Reddit post, and I've seen several Twitch stream like clips of this. People keep hitting the wrong button and buying male prostitutes. And they're like, oh god, what? No.
I'm pretty sure once you've done it like the third or fourth time, like it's not an accident at that point.
I mean, I guess, but I just think that it's funny. Does
this game have like hardcore like sex in it, like gay sex?
No, like from what I saw, no, it wasn't like it's it's not like explicit, type of thing. It's arguably, I would say, seems less explicit than Heavy Rain.
Oh, okay.
So it's not, which I'm sure a lot of the people on Reddit are mad about, judging from some of the posts that I had seen. But yeah, it doesn't seem too. It's still pointless to put in a game, in my opinion. But it's not.
They're fucking mad about sex scenes being censored in a video game.
Yeah. Those things always look weird.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. You have to consider that this may be the ultimate evolution of the parasocial relationship. People getting so excited over sex scenes in video games, and getting angry don't live up to the hype.
Well, I'd be more concerned about the fact that the game appears to be broken. So, because apparently on
they'll fucking.
on the PS4 and the Xbox One, like it runs like crap. Like it just runs like total trash.
Well, it's they'll fucking forgive that. I mean, I actually own the Witcher games. I've never played them. I'm sure those were buggy as shit when they came out. Bethesda has just released buggy game after buggy game their entire career, and it doesn't seem to have hurt them any. But they are the sex scenes, the parasocial relationships. There's something really disturbing about this. You know what that phrase means, right?
Yeah, it's like people think they're friends with Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, essentially. Well, it's the ultimate parasocial relationship because the game not only has no awareness, the game, the characters in are not your friend. They can't ever become your friend because it's a script.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think people are just dumb teenage horn dogs for the most part. I think that's most of the Reddit thing is just dumb teenage horn dogs.
I've seen. I mean, yeah, there's the people who are just horny, but like I've tracked this kind of well, I don't really want to, but I've kind of followed it. I mean, I talked about this in the context of the Mass Effect games a decade ago. There were people who got weepy and upset and demanding that their favorite character be a romance option in the next game. They were unhappy when relationship plot lines didn't play out the way they'd expected. They had all the BioWare fanboys had a meltdown on the forums when the ending of the third game turned out to be shit. Cyberpunk 2077 just seems to be like the natural evolution of that.
Maybe. I think you might just be thinking a little too hard about it because people were also mad about the ending of the Star Wars movies. I mean, you're always going to have that type of deal. It goes back to find old videos of like Star Trek conventions and how spazzy and weird a lot of those nerds are. So there's always going to be dorks, dude.
That's true, but like there's like a qualitative difference here in that like people are invested in a way that they weren't before. Like Star Wars is an interesting one to bring up because you saw an article earlier today that Star Wars in its modern incarnation isn't, it used to be, catered to teenage boys. Now it's catered to adult women. Like this is explicit.
Yeah.
And basically to adult women fanfic writers. I remember a year ago when Rise of Skywalker came out, there was like a clip that went viral on YouTube of like a bunch of women just freaking out in a theater at the end of the movie. So one of them screaming out, "I fucking hate Star Wars!" because it didn't end the way they wanted.
Good. I mean, whatever, dude. They're just dorks is what it is. And for whatever reason, they found, hey, we could make some money by marketing this towards stupid fucking women. And they did it. And good for them, because I don't give a shit about any of those movies, because I'm a damn adult. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and there was also the articles about how, like, Star Wars was normalizing abuse towards women or some shit like that.
Okay. I missed that entirely.
Yeah, it's because Rey has like an ambivalent relationship with her abuser Darth Ren or whatever the fuck his name was. I can't remember. I have no intention of watching those movies ever again.
I've seen the original 3 and then episodes 1 and episodes 2, and I haven't seen any of the other ones.
It's interesting because like a lot of people quit at episode 2.
It was bad. It wasn't any fucking good. The original 3 movies, okay, that's pretty good because it's just the Star Wars movies or whatever, right? It's about where I got to tap out on it, man. I don't really care that much.
I just think it's hilarious because like everyone basically like with the Phantom Menace was like, okay, that movie was shit, but maybe it was a fluke, and the next ones will be good. And then they saw Attack of the Clones, were like, nah, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. And I mean, what's funny, Anakin Skywalker, that poor kid, people were mean to him, and now he's like a schizophrenic criminal.
What?
Yeah, the actor who played Anakin, yeah, he's not doing so hot. He ended up being a schizophrenic. and he like got arrested and all that.
I have got to see this.
Yeah, let me bring it up here.
You
What was that
know
kid's name?
the other famous movie he was in that I recall was Jingle All the Way.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jake Lloyd. That's him. Yeah, he got into arrest 2015, charged with assault. Then a few months later, drunk driving. And then in June 23rd of that year, his mother stated to TMZ that he has schizophrenia. And you really haven't heard anything from him since. But
His family is watching over him.
yeah, which that's rough. That's rough stuff.
Oh, he also beat up his.
He beat up his what?
Damn.
Yeah.
He beat up his mother.
Yeah, that'll happen. Rough guy. Rough stuff there. That sucks. I hope he does okay. Yeah, Jingle All the Way is a great movie.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, 1996, he was in Unhook the Stars, which I've never heard of, Jingle All the Way, and Apollo 11.
He was in Apollo 11?
Yeah. Which is not, I guess it's a docudrama film. I don't think I've ever seen that. I think you're thinking of Apollo 13.
No, I've seen both Apollo 11 and Apollo 13 because my dad was into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I never watched
Apollo
Apollo
11's not
11.
bad.
Well, it's not. It doesn't have. What's Apollo 13's got? What, Tom Hanks in it, right?
Well, yeah, Apollo 13 is the movie about, Apollo 13 was the moon mission that went wrong. So
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be a more interesting movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Directed by Ron Howard. It's got Tom Hanks and Kevin Bacon. It's a good movie.
Oh yeah.
I'll bet it's not as good if I were to go back and watch it. I'd be like, oh, this fucking sucks. Because all those movies that were made, like in the 90s, seemed awesome at the time, and then now you look at them and you're like, this looks like shit. This just sucks.
Yeah. I mean, the 90s were kind of a dead zone for culture.
I think it was the best time to be alive, honestly.
Oh, it was a great time to be alive. It's just that in retrospect, all the cultural output was shit.
I think they were just trying something new, like it was really, they were trying to get this whole, everything was kind of the future with all this green screen CGI junk like that. I mean, we had like Independence Day and Wild Wild West, these great movies.
That was when we had the indie movie boom after Clerks.
Yeah. And now
that produced a lot of shit.
What, the indie movie stuff? Oh, for sure, man. Everybody with a VHS camera was like, screw it.
Yeah, like god-awful garbage like the Boondock Saints and whatnot. Though there were some good movies out of that. Like, Todd Solondz's career got made from that.
Hey, I'm not going to go back and watch Boondock Saints, but I liked it when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. It's a very childish movie,
it is pretty bad.
But for a fucking... It's an artless Tarantino ripoff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Completely. I liked it.
I don't like Tarantino, but like his movies have a sort of slickness to them that makes sense and is kind of enjoyable. Like Boondock is just very, very tone deaf.
I'm gonna go back and watch it, man. I'll bet I still like it. I'd be like, yeah, shoot all those dudes.
It's like you gotta think about. You gotta think about Tarantino's like this Pomo, college grad, and the guy who directed Boondock Saints is some stupid Mick from Boston. There's actually a documentary about the making of the Boondock Saints, which is more interesting than the movie itself, because the guy who directed just as soon as he gets the money from Miramax and the contract, he starts acting like a big shot. He starts he insults Kenneth Branagh. He goes on an anti-Semitic rant, and then Harvey Weinstein stops taking his calls. The movie gets put in turnaround. And the final hilarious thing is that Boondock Saints eventually gets released in theaters, but only in 5 theaters. It becomes a hit on video, but the contract that the guy signed, meant that he didn't see a penny of the revenue from the movie, from the video.
Oh no, that's a crummy contract. Damn.
Oh yeah, he got fucked hard.
Oh, dude, there's a Boondock Saints 3. What?
Wait. A 3? That means there has to have been a 2.
Yeah, there was Boondock Saints 2, All Saints Day.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That the title of that literally sounds like something that Kevin Smith would have come up with. Like in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, Goodwill Hunting 2, hunting season.
Yeah. This is from October 2019. Norman Reedus still in talks for Boondock Saints 3. Oof. Man, Norman Reedus, it took him a long time to have a career, huh? He's young there.
Oh yeah, the documentary I was talking about is called Overnight. That's the one about the making of Boondock Saints. That's a really good movie.
I'm gonna have to check it out. Of course, I say that about all kinds of stuff, and then I just continue watching like King of the Hill over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of other '90s artifacts, like Todd Solondz's movies are pretty good. Like Welcome to the Dollhouse, Storytelling, those are great.
Never heard of that.
I think you'd like Todd Solondz. It's he's very dark, bleak humor. About incest in the suburbs and shit like that.
Todd
Solondz.
Because I was thinking it'd be like, do you want to watch a movie?
Nah. Nah. He's very funny. It's he kind of you can think of a movie like Welcome to the Dollhouse, like American Beauty, but it doesn't suck.
I liked American Beauty. I thought it was a good one.
I mean, it's a funny version of American Beauty. It's less dramatic and more funny.
Oh, I thought American Beauty was supposed to be funny because I think it's a funny movie. But
I don't think it was intended to be funny intentionally.
Oh. Well, I think it's funny.
But I think Welcome to the Dollhouse is better. I think you'd like that. And Storytelling is pretty good too, though I don't think that came out in the 90s.
Was there a Boondock Saints video game? I think there was.
Seems like we got a natural fit. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they never made it, but they wanted to or something. I think it'd be a good video game. I'd play it. Why not?
I mean, just killing dudes. Yeah, I mean, they made Scarface into a video game.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, I never played it, but it seems retarded to make a movie about a classic film in which the main character dies at the end and then change the ending.
Oh, I never finished it. It was a glitchy mess that it was just a crummy PS2 game. It was really bad. They made a Godfather game and a Sopranos game. I've never played either one of those.
I heard the Godfather game was actually pretty good, but I never played that.
I imagine it was probably just trying to get in on like that Grand Theft Auto money.
Oh yeah. There were a ton of those knockoff games in the early '90s. That's where Saints Row came from. Though Saints Row just went off and did its own thing and was successful. But there was True Crime, Streets of L.A.
Yeah.
There's a few others that I'm forgetting at the moment.
Yeah, there was a lot of those. Most of those are bad. Saints Row is pretty cool just because it's so out there and ridiculous. Where you become the president and all of that.
Yeah, I mean they just stopped trying to. They gave up on trying to imitate Grand Theft Auto and just went into just sheer total ridiculousness.
Yeah, there's a giant dildo. There's the dubstep gun. It's fun. I like it. I like Saints Row. I like the character customization that you can do in it and everything. Saints Row's cool.
I've never played any of those games. I'll have to look it up.
They're fun.
I was never a huge fan of the Grand Theft Auto games, but it's
Die, heretic.
Okay, kill me.
I'm gonna have to. I mean, what don't you like about Grand Theft Auto?
I like some elements of it, and I should stipulate this by saying I've played Grand Theft Auto 3 in San Andreas. I, I I didn't like Grand Theft Auto because there was really 3 because there's really nothing to do outside of the missions. San Andreas was a lot better on that front. They started adding in like the turf war mini game. There was the various emergency vehicle missions you could do. Like that was pretty cool. The area was the area you could explore was a lot bigger. You could fly. You get a jetpack. The jetpack was fucking awesome. But I don't know. I mean, it just seemed like the games were just kind of aimless.
Not for the time.
Oh, they were revolutionary for the time. Sure, I acknowledge that part. Oh yeah, and I also like the parody talk radio channels. Those were fucking great.
Yeah, with the Laszlo.
And the guy and the Art Bell parody.
Yeah. See, they have that type of stuff, and 4 is pretty good. 5 is just an absolute masterpiece. That's a great one.
Actually, now I recall the main thing I hated about Grand Theft Auto, you couldn't save anywhere. So having to complete a mission over from scratch because I died was really pissed me off.
That's something they changed in 5. They put checkpoints in the missions.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, they put checkpoints in the missions in 5, which was a welcome change. I mean, it does make it easier, but some of those missions are super long. You'll be doing one for 35, 40 minutes, so you would want to have a checkpoint in them.
Holy shit, the Saints Row 4 is only $2 on Steam right now.
Nice. That's the one where you become the president, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, that's a really good one. You get like superpowers and like all of this fun stuff.
Yeah, the entire franchise is I think $55, which still isn't bad. You're getting like every single game and every single DLC pack.
Yeah, you don't need all that crap. I mean,
I imagine it'll probably go back on sale for the holiday sale, so I'll wait then.
Yeah, I gotta see. My problem is I have so many damn games that I haven't played that I need to play. I don't know. I mean, a lot of them I haven't even heard of, and I've got them installed, and I never played them. Like, what is this one? Hard Reset. It's just some sci-fi like shoot 'em up thing, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna play that shit. So I'm like,
I have exactly 615 games, and I probably played seriously maybe about 100 of those.
Yeah, it seems kind of like a waste. I mean, I'll see something on sale. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah. Let me get The Long Dark. I've had that since July. It's been installed. I know it's a great game. Have not touched it. Just have not played the damn thing. So many of these. Shenmue 1 and 2. Don't remember how much it was. Just saw it on sale. Got it. Installed it. I'm never going to play this. I'm never going to play those games because I remember they're long and boring. So
oh, you're probably not going to have a good time playing Shenmue.
Yeah, it's not as good.
I have that. I was doing streams when that came out about a couple of years ago, and I played Shenmue 2 when I was a kid. I never played the original. The original one is incredibly tedious.
Yeah. I mean, there's the whole thing where you go a freaking forklift driver, for days.
What? The forklift driving is fine because at least you're doing something. The beginning of the game, you have to go around just talking to people, asking like about some clue or something, and then you discover that it was completely pointless because the clue is mailed to your house.
Yeah, but the graphics at the time looked great.
And also, Shenmue 2 fixed this. They, when you go to a certain area in Shenmue 2 and there's like a plot related event and it's not the right time, you can just hit a button to fast forward to that. But you can't in Shenmue. You have to wait for like stores to open. You have to wait for people to show up. It's really, really tedious.
But at the time, it was pretty cool. The Dreamcast was an amazing system. It was one of the most fun things at the time. I mean, you got like, with the 2K sports games were really cool. Crazy Taxi, Shenmue. As weird as it was, Seaman, was kind of...
The Dreamcast was overrated.
You're just wrong. I think it's a cool system. I would love to have one, but what TV are you going to hook the damn thing up to?
What, you can't hook that up to a to a flat screen?
No, it wasn't HD.
Oh,
Have you seen
right.
those? I mean, you could hook it up, but they look weird. Like,
yeah, good point.
they look weird. Try playing Mario Kart for the Nintendo 64. Try playing that on some TV. It looks awful and it's hard to look at, and it gives you a headache. It's not a fun experience.
But yeah, I don't know. Like the Dreamcast had a few good games, but it's like the controller was retarded, and yeah, the controller was retarded.
Okay, it also had Sonic, which was a lot of fun, and it was the best controller. I liked the controller.
But I had a friend with a Dreamcast, and using the controller for like a long period of time made my hands hurt.
Well, you have girl hands.
Fuck you.
Hey, you're the one with the little baby hands, can't hold a controller.
Yeah, and also the lack of a second analog stick was retarded.
It made my hands hurt. My hands, my fingies. It made them hurt pulling on the triggers. Yeah. Did you go dress shopping?
Then again, maybe I'm weird because I like the original Xbox controller. You know, the big, huge one that was with the system when it launched and that everyone complained about. I love that controller.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, I liked the triggers on the side, like it had. But it was just bulky as hell, which was weird.
It was big and meaty, and it felt well constructed.
You just like big black things in your hand? I didn't like how bulky it was. But it was kind of funny that we pretty much all came from that, from the Nintendo 64 controller, which is just a monstrosity.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with you there. The N64 controller is like, was it designed for aliens, like people with 3 hands?
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, but I remember at the time going, "Wow, it has so many buttons," and thinking that was great. Yeah, that thing was a monstrosity.
Yeah, I mean, Sony invented the perfect controller design, which is evidenced by the fact that everyone just eventually just started ripping it off.
Yeah, it is probably the best way to do it.
Simple, elegant. You got the 2 analog sticks, the shoulder buttons, 4 face buttons, and it's small and optimal.
Right. It's something that can actually fit in your hand. I mean, if you try holding like an old Super Nintendo, or worse yet, the original Nintendo controller, why would they put sharp edges on that thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the whole thing with the the original Nintendo is that they were trying to, because of the video game crash, a lot of toy stores and shit didn't want to stock video game consoles because they thought they wouldn't sell. So Nintendo tried to market the NES as a like an all-in-one entertainment device. That's why it came with Rob the Robot or whatever it was, and why it was redesigned to look like a VCR, and why they had the controllers designed the way they were. Because if you've seen the Famicom, the Japanese version of the NES, it's totally different.
The controller looks the same though. It's just kind of it's just this dumb square. I hate it. It's just dumb. And what were they trying to say? Oh yeah, it's a multimedia system thing. Oh, that's some BS, because what's it do? It just plays Nintendo games.
But it looks like a VCR.
It does look like a VCR.
And they also fucked up the construction of that. So like if you have the pen supposed to hold the cartridge in place always breaks.
Yeah.
So like it has to be replaced constantly.
Yeah, and apparently I looked this up. We all used to like blow into the things. Yeah, that does nothing. It does nothing. I don't know
we did
what
that
we were
with
doing.
VCRs too.
Yeah, that does nothing. Oh man, yeah.
Probably makes it worse because you're getting spit in there too.
Right, yeah. It's just you know what? Just spit in it. That's great. Just spit on these electronics. Oh boy, I don't know. And then it went to they got rid of the cartridges, and then they went to the discs, and then really we didn't have discs for that long, because I remember when we would have cassettes like for music, and then it was like CDs. Discs had a really short lifespan as far as like in the market. Now everything's just downloads.
Are you sure? I mean, because discs have been around since the early 90s.
Right, but how long were cassettes around? Well, they probably were even shorter because before that was 8 tracks.
Yeah, like 8 tracks were like in the 70s, cassettes were like the 80s, CDs were like the 90s and early aughts, and then it just went to downloads. So I think CDs would be like a range of about 15 years, maybe 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, but if you compare that to like records, man, records were the guy forever.
Well, records are still going strong. People still buy vinyl, music because it's, for the purists.
It's fucking stupid when people are like, "Oh, it just sounds better on vinyl." You know what else sounds better? Silent. Shut your dumb ass up, because that's a stupid fucking thing to say.
I don't know. I just like I don't own any vinyl records. I just think they look cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they do look cool, but it's like who has vinyl? Nerds and DJs.
Hipsters.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I don't see the point, because I've had people several times tell me that, oh, it sounds different. And I've listened to the song and I've listened to it on a damn vinyl with their headphones and all of that. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't sound any different. So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy because enough people say it. But, a lot of people say a lot of things that are just blatantly not true.
Maybe you're just going deaf.
Could be. I doubt it. How does it sound any different? What's it sound like that's so different, Matt?
Well, I mean, I agree with you. It sounds the same to me, but maybe we're just going deaf. Maybe we're the wrong ones.
No, I really doubt that. I think the people that spend money to get, the Tekashi 6ix9ine single on a freaking vinyl are the people that are wrong.
Well, I just want to own vinyl records because they look cool. They look cool on a fucking bookshelf.
Ugh.
Record players look cool.
That's the only thing that I'm going to be fine with, like everything going to downloads for. Yeah, you don't really own anything, and then they can just delete your account and all of your money and possessions are gone, but no more of this bookshelf talk.
What is wrong with you?
No, I don't need these stupid books, and because all it is people buy these books and they put them on their bookshelf and they're like, look at how smart I am. Have you seen my bookshelf and my vinyl shelf? Ooh, look at my ironic mustache and pipe. Just go get a freaking monocle and a top hat and a cane and walk down the street spitting on poor people, you dumb piece of shit. I hate it. I'm a look at how good I am as a person. I'm so cultured. Look, it's a print from some fucking gay artist. I found it on Etsy. You suck. You should just live in an empty room with nothing on the walls, covered in your own fucking feces, you retard. It's just so annoying. I mean,
in other words, Brian, you will finally be happy when you own nothing.
Yeah, I own nothing. I have no privacy, and I'm happy. Be great. Build back better. I can't wait for my bank to donate to Black Lives Matter.
That's your bank, baby.
That's my bank, baby. God, that kid is such a nerd, dude. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. Like, what the fuck happened? And why don't they see that? Like, oh, they just donated $1 billion to Black Lives Matter. It's like, just a few years ago, man. Not that long ago. When was Occupy Wall Street? When was that? That was
9 years ago?
9 years ago. In 9 years. People are like, yay! Banks! What the fuck happened? Like,
well,
we got owned.
The proof here that intersectionality was a CIA psyop.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. That progressive
That's literally
stack.
all it took.
Yeah. Golly. I mean, because it was. People were like, fuck banks. 9 years ago, people were pretty much united in fuck banks. And then now, That's my bank, baby. That's just it's just so hard to see. It's just like when Jim Carrey was on Bill Maher and like flipped his shoes up and said, "I just picked up some freedom-loving Nikes." Freedom for who? Freedom for who? Not the Chinese children that made them. It just, what happened, man? It's weird how it just got turned on its head like that so severely. You would think something like that would take longer than 9 years. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, it's like, I think you look at the ages here. Like, the Zoomers were just fucked on this. I think the Zoomers are far more enthusiastic about the corporate worship. Because, again, that's my bank baby kid. He's got to be, like, what, 18?
Yeah. I mean, old enough to have a bank account.
I mean, these kids were, like, what? When Occupy Wall Street was around, they were, like, what? They were watching SpongeBob.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
They don't remember that shit.
No. It's just, how did Antifa go from Seattle 1999 to, like, what they're doing now? Which is, I don't know. I think that maybe they don't realize they're, like, protecting banks' interests or something like that.
They love bashing people who are against lockdowns.
Yeah, which is like it's a weird thing. They're anti-prison, pro-lockdown. It really doesn't make any sense. But you would think, universally, this would carry over, that people would say, yeah, fuck the banks. But they don't. That's my bank, baby. And like, yeah, I think it's great what, JP Morgan Chase has done, Wells Fargo, and, all of that. Oh, it's great that they're backing social change into their commercials and all of it. I don't know. It's just hard to watch because I want to know where this goes. Like, what is the next generation of kids going to do? Because they're getting dumber and dumber. Our generation's already fucking stupid. Yeah, the millennials are dumb as shit. All right? All every millennial does is sit around, eat avocado toast, and podcast and drink fucking beer. That's it. That's the only thing our generation does. That and be socialist and eat hot chip and lie.
And you have to, don't forget, the beer is an IPA, a craft IPA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's got to be that because they're too good for. They'll drink Bud Light, but too good for Budweiser. Meanwhile, nobody knows where White Claw came from, but everybody likes that. It's just, I mean, at least most of us don't worship banks and corporations and stuff like that. But you get the younger kids, the Zaggets, that. They really do. They're like, the Wendy's Twitter account is so funny. I hate you. I fucking hate these people, dude. Fucking dorks. I mean, I say that as I'm like sitting here drinking this Coca-Cola going, what an American staple Coca-Cola is. And you know what it is? Water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural flavors, caffeine. Thank you, Coca-Cola.
That's the taste of America. Right?
That is the taste of America. That is the taste of America. How bad is it that the better Coca-Cola is made in Mexico? With actual cane sugar in it.
The better Coca-Cola is made everywhere else. It's like that Mexican Coke thing is a scam. Every single country has that except the U.S.
Yeah, but that's the ones that we get. Are the Mexican Cokes? I mean,
I'll bet it's just relabeled Canadian Coke.
Could be. I mean, I don't know.
It's just that Canadian Coke doesn't sound as cool.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as cool. But also, what's a Canadian restaurant? There's got to be a Canadian restaurant. I got to find a Canadian restaurant. Canadian restaurant.
There's a Canadian, or like was a Canadian restaurant where I lived in Budapest.
What do they do?
They serve poutine. They were a poutineery.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would be a Canadian restaurant.
It was okay. The big problem was that they didn't have the proper curds. But then again, nobody makes curds in Europe, so I guess that's forgivable. But the sauce and shit was correct.
Let's see. So I've got this Les Sierre. Oh no, it's at Disney World. So at Disney World, there's the Canadian choice, cozy cellar of a Canadian chateau for exquisite steaks and seafood specialties, and it just looks like a steakhouse.
Canadian seafood specialties like what? Snow crab, cod?
I guess I don't know.
Well, they don't have any more cod. They fished the cod out, so I guess it would have to be snow crab.
Yeah, what's now the snow crab? They live in the snow, right?
No, I think they're called snow crabs just because they're white.
Are they? Let's take a look.
They don't live in the snow. They're fished out of the ocean.
Right, I kind of figured, but like, there's snowy waters.
Icy waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, snow crab. They aren't white. What are you talking about? They just look like every other crab.
No, they're not red. They're whitish.
Google image search snow crab right now and tell me you colorblind. Look, they're
I have one open right now. It's brown and white.
No, it's not. Maybe it changes color when you cook it. Maybe that's it. I mean, I don't know. Most expensive.
Or maybe like the one Oh, there's multiple species of snow crab. The one I'm looking at is called an opilio crab.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, but I did find out
that one is brown and white. There's one here that looks like a regular crab.
Well, there's in November of last year, back before the world went to shit. There's the world's most expensive snow crab just sold for $46,000, which sounds like
delicious.
No, that sounds stupid. Who's paying $46,000 for a fucking crab?
Well, I mean, was it big or something?
Oh, it looks pretty big, yeah. He's 2.7 pounds. So, really doesn't seem like... I mean, that's really expensive.
It's just making me hungry for some crab.
I mean, that's $17,000 a pound.
The most decadent meal ever. It's like that steakhouse in New York City that wraps their Kobe beef in gold foil.
Yeah, but that's awesome, though. This is just an ugly crab. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'll never understand anything like that, though. Like, who are you trying to impress? You'd be like, hey, baby, let's go get $17,000 a pound crab. Just go to freaking Long John Silver's like everybody else.
Yeah, if you're in Florida, I mean, go and have the restaurants that serve stone crab claws or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do that, but even then, just, because it's like they're just underwater spiders. I mean, they're not that great of guys. Like, crabs are pretty cool animals. I mean, it's they're just gross bugs. They're just sea bugs, man.
I think stone crabs are pretty cool because you can snap one of their claws off and it just grows back.
Yeah, they all do that though.
Well, in this case, it's because it's more important because like the actual stone crab, like the body is not eaten because it's too small, so that people just eat the crabs. Like you'll snap one, you'll fish them out, you'll snap one claw off, and then you throw it back into the sea, and it comes back, and then you do it again next year.
What a horrible fucking life! It's just like, God damn.
Well, I mean, the crabs get to live. It's awesome. It's environmentally sustainable. It's fair to the crabs. We're not killing them.
Yeah, the crab is just trying to hang out. He's trying to use his hands to eat shit, and he's like, shit, again? Oh my God damn it. You know how hard it is to swim now with just this one? I'm going in circles. This sucks.
Do they even swim? I thought they just crawled along at the bottom of the ocean.
No, they swim.
Huh.
Yeah, like they'll like propel themselves and like use their legs and all of that, and they'll swim and float around and shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean they know how to get around. They know how to get around. And yeah, that would suck. Man, it's expensive too. Florida stone crabs, really expensive. 6 pounds for $350.
Well, just go to a restaurant and have a couple.
I don't want any. I don't eat crabs. Just it seems expensive. I don't know what's up with like so I had wings for years, right? And I didn't realize how expensive fucking wings are. I thought they were cheap. But apparently Hooters has like some, fake meat wings that I'm never going to go there, but was like, okay, like how much are those? 10 of them's like $15.
What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and they just the Hooters and all the other chain restaurants, they just take them out of a freezer and they heat them up in a microwave.
Right. It's not like
you're paying $15 to have some chick press 30 seconds on the microwave.
Yeah. It doesn't seem good. So like even just the regular ones. So let's just say, all right, just some Hooters original style wings. 6 wings is $12.
Damn.
Like I thought wings were super cheap. I remember them being a bar food, and you'd get, a ton of them for next to nothing, like 25 cents, 50 cents, something like that. A wing.
Maybe it's just runaway inflation, because there were images I think it was a month ago or a couple months ago, about how like steak cuts are going for like $60 in Canada, and that's Canadian dollars, but that's still like what, $40 American?
What the hell? I mean, I went to the grocery store the other day, and this was like a decent price from what I've seen around here, because back in Ohio I could get at the Kroger, I'd get like 12 eggs for 69 cents or something like that, right? And here it's like $2 for 18, and that was a good price. The other ones that I've seen, you want 12 eggs, it's like $3. I don't know what happened.
It sounds like inflation, man.
Yeah, it's damn. I mean, we're gonna have to all sit around eating instant grits. We'll run out of money trying to have breakfast.
That's fucking depressing.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's ugh. Is there any good news? Is there any good thing happened? That's what I thought.
That the fact that I had to struggle even think of one is a bad sign.
Yeah, even if we think like, oh, Cyberpunk came out, well, apparently it's a fucking mess. So it's like there's nothing good.
There is no escape.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, I wake up like every morning. It's been a terrible, month for me. Month and a half. So it's terrible, like 6 weeks. And I wake up every morning and I'm just like, fuck, I am sad. And then I'll start drinking sometimes, and that's all well and good, but you can't drink every fucking day and not do anything. I mean, I guess you can. People do it all
yourself.
Yeah, people do it all the time, but it's like, good grief. Because I woke up this morning. I'm up at like 8 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, let's see. I got to do the Terror House thing. I don't really want any breakfast. It seems gross. Should I have a beer? And I'm like, maybe. It seems a little early. If I start drinking now, it'll be the only thing that I do all day. And, now I'm thinking like, maybe that'll just be the only fucking thing I do all day. It's just sit around and fucking drink. That gets tiresome. There's no good movies. There's no good TV shows. Like, the only good TV shows are TV shows that are really old. And beer. It's just beer and whiskey is the only thing that's good. As I sit back and I watch the whole damn country fall apart, because you got people in Washington State and in D.C. shooting and stabbing each other and all of this.
Well, there are good books from Terror House Press.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I guess we do sell books, huh?
Yeah, I have to constantly remind you of that fact.
I forget a lot of the time what this company does.
I'm wondering if I could just jerk you to say like, "Oh, we sell porn" or something.
Some of the things that I've read on the site kind of makes it seem like that. Yeah. I mean, You know,
all the erotic stories.
Yeah, some of the things I'm like, good God, I hope I never run into any of these people. I don't want to have to explain why, like, so, oh yeah, you're part of that website that wrote about poopy porn, huh? About my butthole? I'm like, yeah. Oh, and you're an editor over there, huh? No, in name only. In name only. I don't, fuck. Lauren Southern, I'm so sorry. You know, what the fuck am I supposed to say?
Terror House, #1 in poopy porn?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. The most read e-celeb erotica website on the internet. Yeah. There's nothing good, man. There's nothing good in the world. I mean, I'm watching in real time as people just become so adjusted to, like, I heard a radio ad the other day. It was for something like getting your oil changed or something like that. And it was like something Corona. And in this new normal, like, we're doing that for oil changes now. We're calling things the new normal. That doesn't freak anybody out. Nope. I'm watching everybody just be well adjusted into it. And the people that aren't are psychos out there stabbing and shooting each other. Which is legal in Los Angeles apparently now.
Yeah, LA sounds like a real fun place to be.
Good God. You could, from what I can tell, you could be under the age of 21, driving drunk without a license when you get pulled over, resist arrest, and they're not going to prosecute you.
Go to town, guys. It couldn't have happened to a nicer city.
Good God. It's depressing because LA used to fucking rock, dude. It was like a cool place. And no, not now. I mean, it was always, filled with monsters and stuff like that. But it's, Harvey Weinstein's in jail. But it's like... Here's a funny story. There was a referendum last month. California voted against ending cash bail, but the new DA of LA County just said he's going to end cash bail anyway. Yeah. I didn't even remember that they voted against it, and then he just said he's going to do it. What do you think about that? Because I hear
they also ended cash bail in San Francisco.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit. Everybody's got to pay rent. How the fuck are they going to afford bail?
Ending cash bail is just a way to get fucking criminals out on the street.
That's what it seems like. But it also,
because like when I first heard about it, I think New York as a whole ended cash bail like a year ago. I naively thought that ending cash bail is going to keep criminals, accused criminals in prison, in jail until like they go through the court system. But no, they just release them on the street the next day.
Right. The argument against cash bail is like how it disproportionately affects the African American community, which they should just go disproportionately affects poor people. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have no reason why they would want to do it besides just letting criminals out immediately. I mean, it seems like
and the criminals know about it too. I mean, I think this was covered on Revenge of the Siths a while back, but like there was a black guy who was arrested for a armed holdup in Buffalo, and he just straight up told the cops, "Go right ahead, arrest me. I'll be back I'll be back out tomorrow."
What is this, a fucking 80s cop movie?
It was something like that. I mean, my voice wasn't black. That wasn't exactly what he said, but that was like the paraphrase of it.
Yeah, arrest me, you pigs. I'll be back on the streets tomorrow morning. Like, that's just a fucking nightmare. I mean, I get like the heart of it. I get where people come from with it because they think like, oh yeah, like these. I could see with like non-violent offenses or something like that. Maybe you don't have the cash bail, but you can't just go, we're getting rid of it entirely. I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, oh, this person shoplifts, so it's like, okay, well, we got to make sure you come to court though. So no cash bail for you. If you don't come to court, then you've got a whole bigger deal, and then we're not going to give you the no cash bail thing anymore. Like if it shows up in your thing, this guy doesn't show up to court, then you don't offer him the no cash bail thing anymore. Maybe it's at the discretion of the judge or something, which I think it probably was to begin with. But I don't know why they love criminals so fucking much, dude.
Well, I mean, this is what happened, and when the Russian revolutions happened, one of the first things the Bolsheviks did was let all the criminals out of prison.
Why? It just doesn't seem like that would be something that would benefit them very much.
Oh, it benefits them immensely because they just go around terrorizing normal people.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's just if your whole thing is Black Lives Matter. This is something I've never understood. If your whole thing is Black Lives Matter, why would you make everyone hate you so fucking much? Like, everybody can pretty much get behind, wow, the police shouldn't go around beating people's asses. That's not good. And then what they're inviting now is they're going to get people, there are people like this now who are like, fuck it. We want cops to beat the ever-living shit out of people. It just seems so counterintuitive.
Well, you could see that as... You could see it as just a part of a two-pronged strategy to manufacture consent for a police state. You've got on one side the pandemic manufacturing consent for a police state on the left, and you've got BLM manufacturing consent for a police state on the right.
Yeah, I mean that is going to be what people want. They're going to want, these dickhead cops. People are going to be begging for it. They're going to want these asshole cops to come and clean up the streets, and they're going to want Dirty Harry out there shooting motherfuckers and flipping cars. I've seen people want it.
They'll want a federal police force to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people want that. They're like, oh, it's good that they're black bagging people in Portland, and it's like, no, this is not a good thing, But people are going to want it. It's just. I hate that everything that seemed crazy, conspiracy theory shit, eventually it just is like, maybe the state just started looking at those things and we're like, damn, that's actually a really good fucking idea. We should do this. We should do a whole conspiracy thing. Let's do, what Operation Lockstep was just kind of like a thing we were mulling around, but fuck. We already told everybody that's fake and gay, and it doesn't seem like a terrible idea. Well, let's just do it.
We're going to find out every single strand of thought in society was manufactured in a CIA lab in the 50s.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I was thinking about this. So, and I wanted to bring this up because it's funny. Did you ever see the 1993 Michael Jackson Super Bowl halftime show?
I have not.
Okay, so it's really good because it's like 1993 Michael Jackson, so he's like the biggest name in the world, right? And it's really extravagant. But in the first song, I forget what it was, but his first song, his backup dancers, and I'm not kidding, go and look this up, 1993 Super Bowl Michael Jackson halftime show. His backup dancers are dressed like fucking Nazis. Armbands and everything. Dressed like Nazis.
Serious?
Oh, yeah. They're white armbands, but yeah. They're dressed like Nazis, and then at the end, they throw Roman salutes. I'm not even fucking kidding.
What the fuck?
Oh, it is awesome. It is the funniest shit. But yeah, no, and go look it up. It's unmistakable. That's what it is. At the end, they're doing Romans. They've got the armbands and the SS uniforms, all of this shit. Just because Michael Jackson thought that was very aesthetically pleasing. But yeah,
Michael Jackson was our guy.
Well, he kind of, I don't like some of the stuff that he did.
I mean, did you have you ever listened to the song "They Don't Care About Us"?
Yeah, it's a good song, and he throws a K word in there.
Yeah, he got in huge trouble for that.
Yeah, he did.
And then shortly thereafter, afterwards, that was when his life was destroyed. Gosh, I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think he might have molested those kids, dude. That was accusations that went on for years and years and years.
I think he was innocent. I think the issue with Michael Jackson is that he was just a regressed 10-year-old in an adult's body.
Well, I don't know, but I'm 100% against diddling, and I don't like that. I don't like him doing the diddles, but the music's great. But what got me thinking about that was he does, heal the world, make it a better place. And it got me thinking, like, I wonder how much of a psyop, Michael Jackson really was, or was he really it was a completely different time, and our generation was like, yeah, all right, fuck racism. And then the CIA was like, we got to go back to exploiting that thing and then make everybody hate each other. Because we did. Our generation was like, all right, cool. We're going to do the olive branch thing. We're going to make fun of each other. We're going to have mad TV. We're going to, it'll be cool. Eddie Murphy's great. And like, we're just being cool guys.
Yeah, that shit all peaked in the 80s. That was when, black and white culture more or less kind of merged. I mean, the two most popular musicians were black guys, Michael Jackson and Prince.
Yeah.
That's, huge crossover culturally. And then that just fucking ended.
Yeah, I mean, it got the cultures merged so much that Michael Jackson became a white guy just to show solidarity. Yeah. He's
and Prince also pretty clearly wanted to be a white guy too, but he didn't go that far.
Yeah, Prince was great. Prince was really good. But it just it was just you could do a lot more then. And I think people were a lot nicer. And then I don't know. I've got to blame our generation for being kind of the lamest people about it all. I don't know what happened in those colleges, damn it. I know they were doing it for years and years and years, but holy cow, did we mess up the Zagat's. Well, they kind of steadily grew up on a diet of television that was way even worse than what we were watching, which was already pretty blatantly left-wing nonsense. Yeah. I don't know where it all went wrong, Matt. I don't know where it all went wrong. But we're seeing where it's going now, and I'm not thrilled about it. A man can't even have Nazi backup dancers doing Roman salutes at the Super Bowl anymore.
Yeah, but we do have some good things. Actually, we're going to start winding the podcast down soon. But as we're recording this, breaking news. Apparently, President Trump is going to pardon Julian Assange.
Huh. That's surprising. I thought he was kind of not going to do that because he hadn't done it so far.
It seems like regardless of how you feel like who's going to be in the presidency in a month, it looks like Trump is just trying to break everything on the way out, which is awesome.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that's what he's doing. Yes. What did he sent that tweet out that was like somebody was like, President Trump should just start declassify everything, and he's like, I know, I am.
We're going to know about the aliens by this time next month.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, it seems like he is just throwing a fit on the way out, which I would too. I get what he's doing. I'm wondering where that goes though. I really don't think that they're going to try to throw him in jail, but they might.
I think it's awesome. Anyway, you wanna close down the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
About an hour and a half. But yeah, just some quick news. We have changed our Terror House has changed our release this month due to logistical problems. The book that we have coming out next week on Christmas Day is The Pilgrim's Digress by T.J. Martinell, a story about a probable future in the U.S. after the collapse and when society is being rebuilt. Very fantastic book. We serialized it earlier in the year, and Martinell's a great writer in the Cormac McCarthy tradition. You're going to love this book. The Pilgrim's Digress by T.J. Martinell coming out on Christmas Day. We're going to be having Martinell on the show soon to talk about that and other stuff. He's a cool dude. Anyway, Bryden, anything you got to plug? Well, anything you want to plug?
Your mouth with soap.
Okay, Mom.
There you go.
Go check Bryden out on DLive, and his website and everything else will be in the description. And of course, you can check me out at mattforney.com, and my shit will be in the description too. And that'll do it for this episode of Terror House Radio. Be sure to check out Terror House Press at terrorhousepress.com. Our magazine is Terror House Magazine, terrorhousemag.com. Our social media links in the description. And, of course, you can check out TerrorHouseRadio.com. You'll always be able to find the latest episodes of Terror House Radio there. Terror House Radio is produced by Bryden Proctor and presented by Jugs. Intro music by Meme Extremist, Illegitimate Non-Carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. I'm Matt Forney with Bryden Proctor. We are out.